Good enough. We get coffee. Yeah, we're live. Okay. How's everybody tonight? Let me press a couple of things here. Like that one. All right, there we go. I don't need to run everything on this computer. So I can shut down some of these windows. Get rid of Facebook, get rid of Numis. Don't need that. It's not closing. How come? I don't know how this computer works anymore. It's definitely burning out. There, we're back. There's SJ. Okay, let's see. Home, screen, shirts. Let's see. Yep. I think everything's working. Where's the home? Went to the store earlier today. Finished the big show. Ran out, get some milk, some bread. There's Vic. Are you there yet? Vic's moving from San Diego to Vancouver. Driving the whole darn way in this little tiny smart car. You know, the thing's just crammed full of coins, and he's heading north. So he just got I guess he just got out of his mail. Let's find something great. Anyway, I stopped at the store and said, "Hey, the kids are in town." I always give them some bullshit story when I want rolls, and they hand them right over. Hey, man, the nephews are in town. Can I get a couple of rolls of pennies? And I give them a $5 bill. Just kind of step it up. But I get 4 rolls of pennies. So they gave me brand new ones. Ta-da-da. Maury had sent a couple of rolls of 2018s, and now I got a couple more. So let's have a little look. How do you open these rolls? Let's do this one. We'll do a little lab first off. People open them different ways. You got the young people, they get in there with their fingernails. And geez, the manual dexterity. Forget it. I can't do this anymore. I can barely look. I can't even move this finger. The heck with it. Okay, toothpick to the rescue. All right, stick it in there. Pull. Stick it in over here. Just stick it in, or get it under the paper, and you can keep it under the paper as you peel it back. And look, you're started. So those of you with no manual dexterity, such as myself, you can open these things up. There you go, and just squeeze them out. They're brand new. Just plenty of them. Now, other people, I've seen them. They take a. Have I got something here? Okay, they take a screwdriver or something and jam it in there. Well, it's effective, no question at all. And usually the ones on the ends, that's where you're going to get the roller marks, and they're screwed up anyway. So you just jam it through. Okay. Yeah, I definitely need a tool. What do we got here that's handy? I got a screwdriver here. I use it for, there we go. Tool, screwdriver. I use it for my glasses to tighten them up. Yeah, you just get in there and rip it through, rip the end right off, and then the whole thing just falls open. That's fairly effective. But there's no real right or wrong way to open these rolls. Okay. Getting them out of those ends is tricky, though. There we go. I thought we'd look at these and see what we can find. Oh, and always store the trash. If you go through a lot of rolls, keep the trash away from where you do the pennies. Or you throw the rolls away. There's all kinds of pennies in there. It's not too bad. Okay. We got BU, so let's put on a glove. What's everybody saying? Hey, Ken can't sleep. Me neither. Which way's up? There it is. Everyone, Victor, been a long drive. You'll be okay. It's probably still daylight over there. CFA uses a tiny screwdriver. Just have to be careful. Yeah, that's the only thing, is scratching the ends of those coins. Here's the one I got from Maury. You're going in, right on the end. Well, this one on the edge, that's where you're going to have, the ring of death. It's not usually too dangerous. And if you do it a lot of times, you get pretty practiced at it, and you'll be fine. There's no right or wrong to it. There's just different techniques. That's all it is. And something is going to work for you better than others. I mean, if your hands are good, if your fingers are good, you can rip those. Numis Nick. He's a, 12 or 14-year-old kid. He does a lot of roll hunting. He just rips them right open. I used to be able to do that. I'll forget it. I have trouble getting that seal off the top of the can of coffee. So I just stab it with a knife, rip it open, salvage what I can, sweep the floor up when I'm done. I've not seen a 2018 cent yet. They look just like this. Look how shiny they are. They're brand new. Okay. Thought we'd go through a roll, see what we can find, because I haven't been. Nobody's been through this roll of pennies. Okay, I'll give you something to stare at here, but we're going to be over on the. Here, you can stare at this. I need to sell this. I just spent all my money on eBay. I got to ship a lot of stuff tomorrow, but I got to hit the bank. I got a pile of money orders here. Okay, let's go to the scope. There we go. We can play with that. We're looking at brand new stuff. Jeez, brand new. They've been minted, dropped into a hopper coming out of the mint. Right, coming out of the presses, they get stamped, dropped in, and they go to another machine that counts them up by by 5,000 bags. They get dumped in the bag, shipped to wherever, end up at the Federal Reserve. They sell them off to the rolling companies like NF String or Loomis, whoever that. I think they're just printing companies that make the wrappers. Brinks, the people that supply the banks, and they get rolled again, thrown in a hopper. So you don't have a whole lot of marks on these, but you have some. Let's get one of these up. Oh, there you go. Nah, big old ding, dent, some rub marks. There's a spot right there. They're not too screwed up. Let's see. Let's get the back real quick. Yeah, they're not as spotty as they have been. I'm pretty impressed with that. Gosh, for a few years there, they were just looked like somebody blew their nose all over the darn things. There's a spot, not too bad. But what you're going to find right off are probably the same darn things you've been seeing, over the past few years. It takes a while for the mint to change their production methods. It's working, it works good. They're cranking out billions of the darn things. So we can expect the same sorts of die varieties that we've been seeing. So we should see cracks and chips along the top of the left of the shield. All right, I think we got a little one here. We'll get in there close. And we'll see probably some cracks over here around the T. And I think we might have one. We'll get in close. All right, so we want to keep an eye on the letters for doubling. We want to look down the center for doubling. We want to check the thickness of the bottoms of the letters. Check for splits. Oh, let's see. Let's turn that upside down. Moving there. Okay, we want to look at Liberty in particular. We want to check out the date. Look for doubling. Sometimes we get some die cracks appearing right at the top. It seems to be the high stress points for the design and use. But they look pretty good. You want a real test, pull out the best out of the roll. Right? I mean, the best one you can find. It's got none of these, little contact marks. Get one with no spots. There's a challenge, if you can do that. All right, let's zoom in because we know what we're looking at. How many of these you gone through? A bazillion? Okay, we want to get in where we can see stuff, where we know what we are looking at. We've seen the RTY before. Let's make that focus right. What's with that little wiggle? All right, give me a minute. I got to do some maintenance. Oh, wow, that's a lot of cat hair. All right, let's pull that in. Wipe that clean. A little bit of a wiggle has developed here. Well, the thing's a year old. I suppose it's probably getting time for another one. Okay, let's check it out. The date looks pretty right and tight. All right, check up his face. Looks pretty standard here. See the little, flattening marks. This is from the, I believe what this is from is either ejection or part of the rim raising milling machine type stuff. You ever see these scuffs? You find them down here on the shoulder, and you find them on the top of his head. But it's always near the, towards the edges. RTY, I'm looking at the bottoms. Oh, let's see if I got to sharpen this. Where's that darn razor I had? Do I need another one? Do I have another one? I have nothing to work with here. All right, we'll try the other end. Maybe it's pointier. Okay, we're looking at the bottoms. The bottom of the Y. All right, I want to see that that's mostly square, straight, little subtle roundings on the tips. I'm looking at the comparing the left and the right of the arms of the Y, and I'm looking for splits or funny shapes at the corners of the R, the tops. Right. maybe on the L. I'm looking for differences in the shape of the various points, but I'm not seeing anything on this yet. And in here, somewhere around the W seems to be the predominant area where you get die cracks in here, but we get nothing on this one. It's Sunday? God, already? Okay, right down the center. Sometimes you get a little bit of doubling you'll find right in these lines here. You've seen the DDOs, you know, around the statue. You get the same sort of thing in here, just a bit of extra metal. We're not seeing it. People have reported this small triangle being disappeared from over polishing, but we're looking pretty standard here. Sometimes you get some chips and cracks on letters that's sent, but nothing yet. Last year I picked up a whole bunch of them with, you know, cracks going through most of 1 cent. JFM looks normal. Die cracks around here have been cropping up from time to time. I don't see anything on this one. Check the bottoms and the feet on those letters. That looks pretty straight and standard. Okay, nothing to see there. Never mind. Send it back to the bank jar. Okay, what do you got? Looks good. Check for doubling in and around here. Anything strange or odd or weird. Check those ears. Liberty looks right and tight. Come on up here. I mean, you can scan every bit of every coin. What I'm kind of doing is just giving it a sampling here. You notice how thin the rims have been the past few years? They extended the breadth of the die, so you get these very narrow rims. They're almost sharp. Well, there you go. It's almost sharp the way. The nickels are particularly terrible. That looks pretty simple. I've seen the little triangle light or missing. Yeah, keep an eye on that. It's an over-polished die. I think we'll look pretty right and tight here. JFM looks good. Let's give it a tilt here. Get something on that T. Nothing that would make me stop and stare at it. Excuse me. Let's look down the center here. Looks good. Check these. Look at the tips on those S's. I'm not seeing anything great here. Now you get weak spots, kind of soft strikes, where S of, you know, this area here in particular is always a bit weaker. That's a weak strike. It's the metal being eaten up by the size of the vest. It's a lot of, you know, it's a lot of void you're trying to make up for here. And if you don't have a complete, sharp, heavy, hard strike, well, there's not enough metal pushing back to fill these letters. That's all that is. So I got nothing in here. Let's see if we got any die cracks along. We got just a start of something there. Okay, just a start. Well, still early yet, but they've already made, what, 3-4 billion of these things? Laser. They've already made billions of these things. And a die is good for, you know, 500,000 strikes. So they're using, what, a couple of dies every day. Yeah. So it doesn't take long for a die deterioration. I mean, by 4 in the afternoon, you've already got die deterioration setting in. Okay, nothing there. You know, on the first day, you get worn out dies. See anything? No. Okay, we got some shadowing. See the ghostly image on the left of the R? There you go. That's some die deterioration. And that's right down at the level of the field. I got some striations here, which suggest polishing. So if I've got striations and they had to polish the die, why did they have to polish the die? Something happened with it. Okay, we got some sort of issue here. Is this a cracked die that was polished and dressed up? Maybe. I'm going to have to take a look at that in the loop. Looking sharp here. Eyeball, ear, VDB. Sometimes you get cracks along the base here because you get a good slope. You get a lot of metal pushing out, right? And it hits that slope, and the die, you know, it bottoms out. Your deepest part is here. And so you start to bottom out, and then you keep on pushing that metal outward, So this is where you get the cracks. That's a high stress point. That looks right. How long and how many are out there? Something was there. This? Yeah, I'm going to look at that under the loop. Because I seem to have something over there at the edge above L. And this, I think, that's a contact mark, the bright spot. That's contact. But over here, I've got some sort of a blemish that wants to get my attention. But the polishing marks gets my attention, too. What did they remove, and did they get all of it? That's a contact mark. That's a contact mark. This is contact. Yeah, you got some extra, oh, dye deterioration right at the top. Just the start of it. But I'm not saying anything otherwise. Yeah, they polished them up real good. Contact there, damage on the rim next to it. We'll get in there and have a look. I'm going to grab that loop real quick. Okay. Anything on that A? No, I'm not seeing it. A little weak here. Nothing great. Okay. These all came from the same roll, so they probably came from the same bag. And since they all came from the same, bag and hopper, it's probably just a couple of different dyes being used to fill the hopper for this particular batch. So if I find one issue, I'll probably find it repeatedly. JFM is good. There's a fly in here. Ow! I'll just keep smacking myself. Anything there? No. I'm going to see what this line is. I got a stripe going across the E here. Now it doesn't go into the E, so it's probably on the coin. But you're going to see more with your eyeball than you're ever going to see with this here scope. Let me move this camera out of the way because I got a great light up here. Shoe fly? The hell? Okay, that's a contact mark on the E. Let's get on the front and have a look here. I don't see anything on the front. All right, there's nothing there. Might be just a lighting. On the front here, we had that big contact mark, but I was thinking there was something closer just inside the rim in this area, but nothing I can pick up with a loop. Okay, next. BU rolls are nice because if you find one thing, chances are you find several. Let's see, I've gone through rolls and you see something and geez, that's pretty slick. I got those 51 S's. That was pretty darn interesting. That was several hours of asking people, what do you see? What do you think? I sent a couple of them out because you find one issue, chances are you find them repeatedly. I got a whole bunch of 2016 rolls. I got a little clash on them. And you go through the rolls, and sometimes you get 3 or 4, sometimes you get a dozen, and they're all identical, and it's the whole box. I still got half the box over here. I mean, just piles of them. I keep them around. Okay, nothing special here. A little stronger than the strike. No cracks showing up. Next. Trying to sleep. Good luck. We're looking at pennies, Vic. You're going to sleep? Yeah, good luck. Let's see what we got here. Has this been enhanced, this section right here above the shoulder? Has this been enhanced? That looks a lot stronger than it has on other years. They may have improved the dye. Every now and then you get these little design elements that picked up just a bit. We're kind of soft on the details here. Remember the 90s, the late 90s, you got all those beard hairs and stuff. They changed it. Looks pretty right and tight here otherwise. Don't have those polishing marks. Liberty is right on. That's a good strike. Let's look at the back. Okay, we got the triangle. Yep, LB looks good. This is contact here. JFM is right and tight. No cracks. Sometimes you get them when you go along the bottoms of the letters, you know, connecting one to the next. Okay, I got nothing down the center here. Look under the S. No, look under the U. Looks right. Okay. You crack on the top. Top of the shield is clean. Serifs are sharp. All right, might be a nothing roll. But if you go through 15 or 20 out of a roll, if you got repeats, there he is again. He's going to land on my forehead. Oh, this is going to drive me nuts. Had the door open most of the day. I launched it when I went to the store. Okay. You find one in the roll, chances are you're going to find several. If you go through a third of the roll and have found nothing, well, it's probably just a regular run. But geez, when you find several, now you got something, especially if it's a really. I picked up a 1957 something roll, and I got a third of them. I mean, a third of the darn things were DDO #1. And they're beautiful. I mean, they're brilliant, uncirculated. They're 63, 64. Wonderful things. And you're looking at, you know, $7 a piece. That looks pretty standard. Getting a lot of texture changes on this one. How come? So, geez, you know, you spend, you know, $12 on a roll, and you pull out 17 coins worth $7 a piece. Yeah, and they sell. It takes a while to sell. But you've got a product line that way. Jay Painter, all he does is search BD rolls. Doesn't do anything else. Gets them on eBay, goes to shops, picks them up at the bank when they're brand new. Damn mosquito. Got a pint of blood. I hate it when they bite you, you know, just once is a pain in the butt already. But they hit you 37. One mosquito all night. It just takes a little sip each time. But he, you know, you're scratching the hell out of your leg. Liberty looks right. Spotty. Oh, love the nose. That's a classic spot right there. Ears good. Date is solid. All right. What happened? We're looking at pennies. No chips, no cracks, no runs. Johnny Bench would be proud. GFM is sharp. Check over here. Okay. So far, it looks like a pretty standard batch here. Okay. People get these rolls. You know, they go to the bank because they need a box of pennies. You know, they hand over 25 bucks. They get it home, open them up, and geez, they got a whole box of brand new rolls. Oh man, I've been skunked. People pay $1 a roll right now. These are 2018s, right? Over in the West Coast, they can't get the 2018s yet. Yeah, I mean, you can get $1 or $2 per roll. You spend 25 bucks, you get skunked? Dude, you just made 25 bucks. You put them up on eBay. You put them in the Facebook groups. Okay, let's have a look at this. Maybe the slope I was holding that at. There may be a little contact mark. It's only the center of the Y on the left side. Looks like a little light contact. Okay, I got nothing on that. Ears right. But people are getting the groups and say, geez, I got this whole box of brand new penny rolls. What do I do? You can take them back, you get your money. You can hold them for a couple of years, because in a couple of years, instead of $1 a roll, you're going to get, you know, $2 to $3 per roll. And that's not fooling. You know, for a $25 investment, in 3 years, you got, you know, 75 bucks you're sitting on. Maybe 100 bucks. Looks good here. He's on my nose. This thing has to die. We may have to cut this. We may have to cut this short. I'm going to go out of my mind. Okay. But if you do get a, you get a bank and they're handing out brand new rolls, well, see if you can sell the darn things, right? You put it on eBay, you put it on uh, I'll put it on YouTube, put it on Facebook, wherever. If you get, some interest, you can get more tomorrow, right? So, geez, how much interest do you have? I mean, if you can make a $5 bill or a $10 bill selling a box of pennies, right? At what point is it worth it to go back and get more? Okay, that 8 looks a little wider on the bottom and on the right. This looks pretty straight up here. I mean, if you can make $1, that's great. But if you can make $1 repeatedly, now you got a business. Right? Like I was talking about the other day, you can make $1 selling a hamburger. That's absolutely wonderful. But if you can open a place and sell 1,000 hamburgers for $1 a day, in your pocket, now you got an enterprise going. I'm going to look at this real quick. No, that looks pretty normal through the loop. The 2 is right and straight and even. The O is nice and round. There's no cusps. Remember what I said about cusps? I would have sent it to NGC. Hey, send it in. But you grab a box of brand new rolls. Well, save a couple out anyway, because you never know what you want to do in the future. Maybe you got, just a couple rolls each year. In 20 or 30 years, you got a pretty nice little set there, right? If you get the P and the D, you're going to fill up one of these Lincoln books. You can put together an entire roll of BUs. Now, bear in mind these Zinkins, a lot of them are going to start rotting as soon as they're made. I mean, just as soon as they're made, they're starting to rot. You get the copper plating splits. And once it's exposed to the atmosphere, the humidity is going to start screwing up the zinc. It forms this hydro, what the hell they call it? Hydro zinc, some crap. I don't know what the hell it is. It's late. I need more coffee. But the zinc rots in effect. So you lose them, even if they're just, you open them up, you looked at them, you put it on a shelf. In 50 years, all of these zincs will be rare. I'm not finding anything yet. But if you can keep them, yeah, in 20 years, 30 years, you can sell them and, get $1 a penny. Well, geez, if you get a whole darn box of them, can you sell 2,500 of them? Yeah, you can probably sell a couple of hundred pretty easily. You can sell the rolls for, $2 to $5 a piece several years from now. It's how long do you want to sit on it? Do you have, the time? Can you afford to sit on 25 bucks for a couple of years? The longer you hold it, the better you store it, the better it's the return on your investment. And yes, you can look at it as a long-term investment. Geez, you spend $25 now. Can you sell it and make 50 bucks tomorrow? A lot of times you can. That's not a bad return all by itself. Looks pretty straight up here. Ear, no cracks. What do we got here? What's that? That's contact. Okay, well, 25 bucks ain't a whole lot to spend. I mean, you could blow that on a movie. Took the nephew to a movie, right? He came up for a summer. I had a couple of days off in between there. So let's go to a movie. Went to the Chinese place. We had to get some. This is what I took him here. We got some fucking Chinese, right? Then went to a movie and we saw. I don't know what we saw. Oh, that Lucy. When was that? Was that like 4 years ago already? Jesus. My sister says he's going to graduate. I'm thinking, so he's in high school already? Yeah. Geez, they grow up fast. Anyway, what was the point of my story? Let me think back. I'm sure there was a point. I forget. It's evaded me. I have an 1833 half cent that's double struck, I swear, but can't find shit. there's a book you can get. There you go. That's Cohen, Roger S. Cohen, American Half Cents. All kinds of stuff in there. Get it, look it up. Is it real Chinese? Yeah, that was real Chinese food. They made it in China, sent it over. Took some shipping damage, but it was pretty good. Let's see, what was the point of that story? You see how it looks kind of fat on the angle? Let's look at it straight. You're pretty normal here. I'm not seeing anything either. Okay, that's what it was. So anyway, I took him to the movie. Geez, between the Chinese food and the movie, it was like, you know, 60 bucks we dropped. Just like that. Chinese food wasn't so bad. The movie, as I recall, was like 10 bucks or 11 bucks to get in. The popcorn was like, I don't know what the hell that was, but they wanted me to sign a mortgage. How much does it cost to go to a movie nowadays? Jesus, we used to go to a movie for $1. You know, you go down on Sunday, Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock showing, it's $1. They'd pack the place. And the popcorn was still 6 bucks. But we spent, you know, a pile of money on a movie. For the same money, you could buy a box of pennies. 2 boxes of pennies. Well, a box of pennies per person. So really 25 bucks isn't too much to sit on. And if you get a, you know, brand new box of BU rolls, what the heck's that crap? Let's see if that comes off. Oh, let's see. No, it's not too much to sit on. What's this crap here? A brand new penny. All right, dust or crumbs or something. Gone. It's out of here. Well, some people can't. For some folks, 25 bucks is a hardship. It really is. You know, they don't have the money for the light bill this month, the groceries, a whole bit. And I feel your pain. Yeah, we get a little chip right there starting up. Right in here. Just a little crack coming across the top. Yeah, that's not enough to worry about. Nothing there. So setting aside one of those boxes of pennies ain't going to kill you. If you have to, you can always cash it in. You know, you buy a box, you get 50 rolls. This must be one of the enders. See the big ring of death? Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother looking at the rest of that. Well, how many can you sell, you know, a couple years down the road? That's a little bit flattened. I don't see anything more than just getting tumbled around. Okay. But people do that. They get, you know, every year they get a box of brand new pennies, stick it up on a shelf. You know, 20 years later, they start selling them off. But if you can flip them over tomorrow, that's really the best way to do it, in my opinion. Just move them out the door. You got them for a good price. You can sell them, make a quick buck, and somebody's going to be happy to get, you know, a roll of them for $1. You see these people. You see it on eBay. Go take a look right now. Brand new boxes, 2018 or 18D. You know, 150 bucks. Are you stoned? Really? No. You can get $1 a piece, no problem at all. With the shipping involved, that's a little damage on that. With the shipping, you do better selling off, you know, 10 rolls. You know, $7.50 for shipping. Give them a price break or something, you know. 10 rolls, 10 bucks. Shipping of 15. I didn't look at the back. Shipping of 7. You can do the whole thing. 10 rolls for 15 bucks shipped, and just flip them over. Okay, I want to see this. What's this bit right there? Scuff. You see the striations, how there's lines? See the dark spot, the bright spot? It's got lines on it. It's been scuffed. There you go. But you can do it if you can, you know, if you know a lot of people Say, hey man, I got these rolls. It's $1 a piece. You want 10 of them? I'll set your rate up. And next year you do it again. Of course, by then they might have figured it out too. But still, the people on the West Coast can't get the P's. People on the East Coast can't get the D's. Down here in Florida, we're lucky to even have coins and the wheel and fire. They're a little backwards down here, I think. Looks pretty good. Cohen is a stud. I'll send you a pic for friggin' my snake. I don't know what that means. There's like one good Chinese left where I am. They're all dollar fake Chinese. They open up. There was this great place downtown. The building was rotted out. They had a problem with the slab. The plumbing was leaking under the slab. City shut them down for bad water, and it was city water, right? Jesus, you're killing me. The best Chinese buffet around. You know, what is it, 12, 13 bucks, and just stuff your face. I'm in there one day, you know, stuff my face, and here comes two fat people. I mean, huge, right? I mean, Jesus, huge ass and his wife. They go in there, they grab a plate, they get in line, and they pile up the food. I mean, at one point he puts this piece of shrimp on top, and it just rolls off, right? Because it's this high. I'm thinking, what the fuck? Do you need that much food? Just make another trip. Well, they're going to do that anyway. They went over, devoured it. It's like a shop vac in operation. They killed off that plate of food, got up and got another, and piled it up until it rolled off. Manager of the store's over there just crying, poor fella. Jesus. Well, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. You know, I'm kind of skinny. Well, I used to be kind of skinny. No, but 13 bucks, I had all kinds of stuff. Go in, try everything. Go back around, get the stuff you liked. I like those mushrooms. You know, they come up. Guy comes running out. He's got a tray of crawdads. Okay, it's dangerous down here, right? There's one guy waiting for him. Cook dumps in the crawdads, and this guy takes every last one. What? There's 16 other people in line. You're going to take every last crawdad? I'll go out and slash his tires while he's eating them crawdads. I mean, there is, you know, a level of consideration to employ when you're eating off a buffet. Don't take all the crawdads. Take 5, take 10, take 2 dozen. Take every one of them. Yeah, that's a slashing waiting to happen. I can only do crawdads and gumbo. When there was no fowl, we ate crawdad. Okay, it looks like a pretty uneventful roll here. Nice and round on those. Well, the cook goes back and cooks up some more crawdads, brings them out. Here's that same guy right there waiting for it to dump. Takes every damn. Just pull up your chair, you freaking scumbag. He wasn't going to share. He had no interest in sharing. They get an endless supply, right? I mean, they got a tanker truck out in the parking lot, and there's a hose hooked up, and they just pump the crawdads in. This guy's going to take every one of them as soon as they come out. What a jerk. But it was a good Chinese place. And the city shut them down for the slab leak. The whole building sat there for a year, and the company bought it out, and they plowed the whole thing in, dug up the whole place, put in all new plumbing. Now it's a car wash. You know, pay $7, $7 to wash your car. I leave mine out in the rain. Works great. Geez, how clean does your car have to be? Well, maybe they're going to sell it, which says that, you know, 15,000 cars are going to be coming up for sale in no time here. Paula's here. Paula, we got a brand new roll of 2018s we're looking at. And we're trying to see what we can see, if there's anything showing up. So far, the only reports I've heard are minor chips and die cracks. And it's always in the usual places, right at the top of here. There you go. There's a little bit of a chip and crack forming. Ooh, there's a cotton lint. Here, that gets rid of the cotton mitt. Right up at the top of the shield. Unremarkable. When these first came out, I was keeping them, and then I realized, you know, I got a jar full of 2010s, and they all got, you know, the same darn thing. So I stopped. I think I still have the jar around here somewhere. Okay, nothing there. But we're looking at the same stuff we're looking, and we see it every other year. We want to look at the RTY in particular, see if we can get any extra thickness. We want to look at the date, right? See if we have any extra thickness or slopes on the tops and bottoms, or look at the little point in here and see if that's fat, or see if the 8 is you know, discombobulated. We'll look for die cracks in the usual places, which would be down here above Liberty, right? And what I want to see is it going across Liberty, or across the VDB, excuse me, and making contact with the rim at a couple of points, so that I can call it a retained cud. And a lot of die cracks right up here and weak. How do I get so much lint on this? I'll just turn it over. The place is lousy with lint. I thought there was no chance of DDO or DDRs anymore because of the change in machinery. They have a single hub. It's a single squeeze era, right? That's the whole idea behind the single squeeze. They used to hub a coin, right? You get the die. Here you go. They take the hub. Looks just like a penny. It's raised. And they're going to drive the hub into this piece of steel over here, which is going to be the die. Let's see. There it is. And they hit it, and then they hit it again. And if it shifted just a little bit, right? And when they did that, you have a doubled die. That's how you make a die. Not the master hub. The master hub makes the master die. First there's a master's, then there's a worker's. The master die makes the working hub. The working hub makes the working die. And the working die makes the coins. That way you got one master hub will make 1,000 master dies. 1,000 master dies will each make, you know, a couple of thousand working hubs. And each working hub will make, you know, several thousand working dies. So you can just, you know, do the engraving off the Galvano once and then produce, you know, an ass load of coins off of that. But they're all consistent that way. The lower down that chain you go, the more diversity you're going to have in your coins, which is why the doubled die, you know, the doubled working die is so important, because that makes, you know, a change on that will have the smallest number of die varieties produced that are all identical. Nothing on that one. Whereas if you double a working hub or double the master die, you're going to have a lot of them. 1972, you get a doubled master die, and half of the coins produced in 72 have the same doubling. So it's a worthless doubling. I got nothing showing on this one. Ooh, and a die chip in the shield. And that, it's in the pile here. I should set them up differently. There's a little chip on the top, but these are so darn common, I don't keep them. And I'm a keeper of die chips. The master is made of the same strength metal. Yeah. They squeeze it right in. But nowadays, instead of doing it twice, they do it once. Well, assuming it's done right, they shouldn't have to do it again, but we're still getting doubling. Right? It's minor, it's small. You know, you don't have the grandness of the 95s or the 72s or the 55s or the 69S's. It's subtle. You have a little difference in the date, right? Some extra thickness in the letters RTY. They're very subtle. Well, we check for them anyway. They don't have the same value. But I like to check the BU rules, because if you find one, you find a bunch, and there's some value you can get out of that. Penny Pincher took some practice to prevent lagging. Whoa, there it goes. We haven't done one of our own in a while. We go on with Quinn's coins from time to time. Oh, the CFA. Let's chat at CFA. If you haven't watched, let me move this. I got CFA. I got a shirt up here. You got to get one of those shirts. He's got a great channel for folks that are kind of new. They're interested. They want to see what's going on. You know, what can be found coin raw hunting, because they go through a lot. They have little competitions, which is kind of neat and creative. They get a point system between them and Quinn's coins. You know, for what you find. You find a silver nickel, so many points. You find a Canadian nickel, it's so many points. So now you can have competitions. You pick up a roll at your house, you pick up a roll at his house, and you go head to head. No, that looks kind of normal. I'm not finding anything in these. Nothing down the center. S's look right. I'm going to look at the top of that S. Let's get in as far as we can. The closer I magnify, the closer I get in, the smaller the nudge needed to move this coin. That. What do we got going on here? All right. That look like MD to you? That's what it looks like to me. Follow me here. The tip of the S, if I could find my pointer, right up here, just inside the S, right there. I've got the same issue again, just inside the D. Okay, let's keep following this. That's about where that's the end of it. But it's a flat shelf. There's no thickness being added. See how this is actually thinner? I can get another one. Let me set that on top. Let's see if we can make this work. Well, this is going to be a feat of dexterity to get this to work. Okay, there's the S I'm talking about. And you look at the width of the top of that S, right? The width of the top, and compare it to the width of the top of this S, which ain't going to be in focus because I'm too close in. Okay, let's back it up a little. And you see this is normal, and that's the one that the doubling, but this one is thinner, right? There's no additional thickness on that. So that's not doubling, that's mechanical. That's MD. It's made thinner. Oh well, that's how you kind of verify what you have. Look for the characteristics of MD. Yeah, that's classic. All right, we found that. That's something. Now CFA has these mystery coins. He puts up a coin. Well, he doesn't show you the coin. He just puts a blank box with a question mark, and he says, "What's this coin going to be?" And he gives you 3 clues, and you're going to take the clues and guess the city, right, that the coin was made. And it's usually only one of 3, but maybe there might be an extra one here and there. You got to guess the date, and he'll give you a clue. Like, during this year, the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor. Okay. So you can come up with a date. And it'll give you a clue as to the coin. Right? So this one has Abe Lincoln on it. Oh, maybe it's a penny from 1941. Because that's when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor. This looks straight up. Anyway, if you get it right, you get a whole bunch of stuff. Spots. Yeah, it's a leopard penny. Not much going on here. Oh, this one's just lousy with spots. Brand new penny. Come on. I don't think the mint cares about us. They don't care about my needs, my feelings. That looks right. We haven't found a single thing except for MD so far. Damn those Germans. Look at this. Look at this. This is a brand new penny. I mean, come on. Why not just dip them in chocolate? Okay, it looks right. I've got a little dye deterioration. Okay, follow me on this, right? You go from the center of the coin, which is going to be just below Abe's ear here, right about here, right? And I'm draw a line. I'll use a toothpick to draw the line from the center of that ear straight out. That's the direction of the toothpick. And that is the direction of the doubling, which you see on these coins. See how it's kind of southeast on the Oh, inside loop of the 8. You see the bottom of 1, and it's down at the bottom. It's at the field. Has die deterioration. And it's just the metal flowing in and flowing back out of the space in the die. And the space is, you know, the letters, the numbers. That's all that is. Yeah, chocolate. He loves these up. Well, you got to wash them after you do the electroplating process, right? You got to get the electrolytes off and at least spots. I remember the Japanese on December 7th. You were there? I was there. RTY looks right and tight. 18. That's a spot inside that 8. Anything going on down here? No. Check the ear. Look at the top of we here. No cracks. Fairly standard. Electrolytes. It's what plants crave. It's what the growing boy needs. It's the solution in which the copper is suspended. Because it's plated in here, you got a soft states of am. And that's because of the metal being eaten up by the expansive vest. It's a big cavity on the die. So if it's a weaker strike, all the metal's going in there, and it's not quite pushing back, right? Because it's the force of the dies coming together. And if the strike isn't quite strong enough, there's not enough pressure to push the metal into all the devices. Because that big space made by the vest. Okay, we're looking pretty standard here. There. One lady wrote me an email. I got a whole box of 2017s, brand new. What do I do? What do I do? Whatever you like. Try selling them. How do I sell them? Oh God, I don't think I can help you. There are some questions that are a little kind of basic. I just lost that email. That looks fairly normal. Well, you can make a few bucks. I mean, how many boxes, if you could get brand new boxes of pennies, how many can you sell? You can probably sell a couple. If you make a $20 bill, that might be worth your time. He's a little bit not as sharp as normal. We're getting into some die wear here. See, the M's not quite split well. Let's see if we can get a little closer in on that. You see these, it's just the die is just plain wearing out. Yeah, there's nothing I would say collectible. I don't see any sign of doubling. But let's give this a little extra glance. All the feet look right. Let's look at the points. They look right. You see anything? Anyone? Calm down, buddy. What do I do? Take a pill and start collecting stamps. Stop bothering me. Alrighty. Let's back it up a little. We don't need that much focus. More topical. Oh man, I must be hungry. There goes my belly growling. All right, I'll get some toast or something. Make some. It's French toast for breakfast, and then for 8 hours I had heartburn. What's going on with that? It's so unfair. Nothing in we ear looks right. Get some extra. What's going on here? Okay, those are just contact marks here. Ain't nothing to see here. What a dull roll. I'm so disappointed. Well, what the heck? You tell them the story. My nephew's in town. Can I get some extra rolls? What do you need penny rolls for? Oh, my nephews are in town. Oh, suddenly a light goes on. I didn't explain what they're going to do with the pennies. They're going to shove them up each other's butts. Whatever. Do you need it? You don't need to know why I need the pennies. I said that to the girl at the bank one day. She said, well, I can't give them to you. Yeah, so you decide what I do with my money now? And if you don't like what I'm going to do with my money, you can decide whether or not to give it to me. I'd like to close my account, please. You know, I don't ask you what you do with my money. Nothing. I've made up some whoppers. My favorite one went into a bank. I'm down in like Palatka. We got the job done. It's, you know, noon. I'm hitting the banks. I got some cash. I'm hitting the banks. And can I get a couple of bucks of pennies? We got working on. I got my construction hat on, right? Gray shirt, you know, the jeans, the boots, the whole bit. I'm looking real contractor like. I'm marching to this bank. I'm all dusty and shit. Yeah, I need some. I need a couple rolls of pennies. We're working on this bar. We're gonna cover it with, you know, pennies, and then epoxy it. But I need a couple because some are gonna be, you know, rubbish, and they eat it up. Oh, we gotta bring us pictures of that. So yeah, we need the, you know, the coins that are mixed up, not all the new ones, because you know, the guy wants the people to sit at the bar and say, "This is when we're married. This is when we got divorced. And here's where our precious little snowflake was born. This is the year of the tree fell on our house." And they love that story. So I use that a lot. You know, because you go in and you say, "Yeah, can I get a box of pennies? What do you need it for?" "I'm going to look through them for valuable errors and die varieties." "Oh, I can't give them to you." Yeah. So you make up a story. That's what I do. I'm a liar. I'm a lying liar who lies. Looks good. Looks good. Looks fairly normal. Nothing there. Get a line in his head. What's that? Contact mark. It's a 20-year-old movie. I don't do movies. I'm back a ways. Kids go to emergency all the time with pennies stuck in their nose. Your kids? You might want to talk to them about that. Hey man, stop putting pennies in your nose. Or is it somebody else's kids? Maybe it's a good time to coach your buddies. It almost looks like an N. It's just wearing out. All right, we're losing some detail here. Nothing I'm care about. P looks right. L looks right. Down the middle. Yep. Points. Okay. We'll get a few left here. There it is. Now there's some videos. These kids are stacking pennies, right? They put like 5 or 6 pennies in a pile, and then build like pyramids with all these little stacks of pennies. They call it penny stacking. It's like an Olympic sport. You watch them. You can, you know, do the YouTube search engine here, and they stack the darn things and make videos. And these people make, you know, they're getting 30, 40, 50,000 views. Jesus, I've been doing this for months, and I haven't broke 100,000 views. What am I doing wrong? Maybe I should sensationalize the darn thing instead of just looking at them. So I go into the bank one day. I'm at the, what is this, People's. I hit them a couple of times before, you know, drive by and stop in. And they got pretty good pennies. I was pretty happy with them. Nice mix. And I go in. Say, yeah, I need some pennies. Well, what do you need it for? There's this kid. He comes into the restaurant, and you know, he mows lawns so he can buy a car, but he takes the pennies and he makes videos. He stacks them up. Really? Oh yeah. You got to see. Just go to YouTube and Google up the penny stacking. Oh, I'm gonna have to do that. Okay. Can I get $2 of pennies, please? Here you go. Tell him good luck. It seems the more outlandish the story, the easier they are to believe it. The more willing they are, to give you the $2 of pennies you want. You go in, I'd like $2 of pennies, please, so I can look for wheats. No, we can't give them to you. Why not? You're never going to see them again, I promise. But if you say the word kid, right, or nephew, here you go. And here's some lollipops, too. Yeah, right. Yeah, you take like a stack of 5 pennies and you make a pyramid. I got some pennies right here. We can try this. Let's go over here, home. Okay, which way are we going? Yeah, it takes a few of these. There's 5, there's 4, there's 5, right? And you set them down. Now I'm gonna have to do this without gloves because, Jesus. Okay, they build rigs, right? They get these boards perfectly measured and lined up, so you can set it against the board and stack them. There you go. There's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they do time-lapse videos. So there's 5 more. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. And they got to be, they got to be stacked neat, man. Real neat and clean. And they put a stack, right on top. And it's going to be exacting because when that pile gets, 3 feet high and you got 50,000 pennies on there, dude, they got to be right. 3, 4, 5. And you don't want to have a cat around in those instances. Okay. Here's another set. We'll squeeze these in here. It's precise. It's surgical precision needed on that. There's 5. Let's get those tucked in neat. And you gotta get them lined up. I mean, crazy tight. You gotta be really uptight to make this work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. And I'll put these across there. But you build the whole base, right? And make them right. And they're gonna, just kiss each other. Because if it's off, when you're 5 or 6 stacks high, the whole thing just caves in. You're starting over. But they got these things. You got like Christmas lights in there, right? I think one guy plumbed his. He's got a sink, got a bar. Nuts. Look at this. I'm gonna have to do one of these videos. But I went on about this. Well, anyway, I was at the bank and they didn't want to give me the pennies because I don't have an account there. But I got to talking to this lady about this guy doing the videos, right? That's amazing. It sure is. You can just find it on YouTube. By the way, you have an account here. Can you get me the box of pennies? I sure will. She runs over to the teller. Can I have $2 of pennies, please? Hands out the cash. Comes back to me. I'd given her the cash. Here's your pennies. Tell your kid good luck. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah. Anything on the back of that? I mean, this is kind of dull in comparison. I mean, what would you rather look at? You want to look at, the points of the S, or do you want to see me stack them up, to the ceiling? I mean, this has excitement built right in. Try warm milk. SJ, are you still awake? You've been saying goodnight for 3 hours. Don't eat French toast. You'll get heartburn for hours. You'll never get to sleep. I'll have to do a video showing the videos of the coins being stacked up. Oh, it's fascinating the stuff that goes on this YouTube thing. Stack them. Try warm milk. Not me. Break a slab. I did that the other day. Oh, sorry, it's already packed up. I'd show it to you. Yeah, I got a little overzealous showing people how to, you know, package their stuff, for endurance. Because, man, it's like a post office is like a gorilla with Samsonite luggage. So I kind of abused a package. And you saw it. It was pretty surprising. It cracked it, but it didn't, the coin was undamaged. Okay, bottom of the end is a contact mark. Spotty. Weak. We got something around the A? No. Nothing here. We've got about a dozen left, and we'll stack these. But you see this guy, he's got a stack of, 50,000 pennies. And I'm thinking, yeah, I would search every damn one of those for a double die. I would search those and pull out the die chips first. I wonder if I wrote to him if I could get the pennies when he's done. I'll dry clean him and sink in the bill. Yeah, I'll put that with my tax bill. I'll get right on that. Nothing. And there's the guy who does the pennies. It's like the national debt. And he's got this pile of pennies across the table and says, this is the national debt, where each penny represents, $17 billion. And he's got the total debt there. He explains budget cuts and what's been reduced on the deficit. And he takes one penny, snips off a little piece, like a quarter of a penny, and throws it away, puts it back in the stack, and says, that's the budget cuts from the last deal. Yeah, that's why we're in trouble. We're spending too much on making the pennies. This guy's just screwing them up. Now we're going to make more pennies to replace the ones he screwed up. More debt, more budget. He's going to put another penny on the table to account for all the ones he's messed up. No matter. I don't know what channel. You just have to check it. Just type pennies in. Penny videos. If 1,000 people equals a penny, here's a map of the United States in pennies. You get 57 pennies over in New York State. You get 45 pennies here in Florida. Well, why not create it? You got the pennies. Why not? You got to do some math. Draw a map. There's a little die chip in that same spot, right above the P. Those are unremarkable die chips. We have found nothing so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 left. And we've got nothing out of this roll. Man, we're going to get skunked. Ain't that a bust? Well, you can make some money on these things, even if it's just because they're brand new. You get a box, hey, sell 10 of them off for $10, $15 with shipping. You got a few in your pocket. You can pick up a $20 to $25 bill on selling a whole fresh box. And you can probably do 2 or 3. Much more than that's going to get tough because you're exhausting all the contacts you have on Facebook or YouTube or what's that other one, Twitter. But if you keep a couple of boxes for, next year or 5 years down the road, well, it's not too bad an investment. Get a couple boxes every year, right? And you start to putting together a massive warehouse of coins. It's not too long before you have a product line. I'm not seeing a thing on this one. But it's a limited product line. Well, what if you can do the pennies and nickels, dimes and quarters and halves? Everything. Who's that guy? He was on, was he on SJ's channel? He picked out, he got a box of halves, and they're all 2017D NIFCs, whole box of the darn things. Jesus, I'm thinking. I had to pick up a couple of rolls. Well, ain't nothing wrong with a couple of rolls. But 2 boxes of NIFCs? I wouldn't be able to move that. It's a great idea, but I could not move that in a reasonable amount of time. Well, no matter. I don't usually deal with NIFCs. But some people like the things. What year would you like, sweetheart? It says I'm on it. I don't have one in the shop, but I can go to a couple other shops I'm good with. There are no shops within 100 miles of me, I think. It's one in Gainesville. Maybe it's 75 miles. Yeah. I'd love to open a coin shop, and then you got to show up every day. I don't show up every day at home. I wake up, I just stay right here. That's what Mondays are for. Last Tuesday, I wasted my life. The entire thing. Just burned it up. I'm a day older and I have nothing to show for it. You get guys? You can get guys. Get some goons. I need some militant goons. You know, get me a hollowed out volcano or submarine access and like 1,000 goons. Hand out guns, I'm safe. Anybody comes in, you just start shooting. I need a tramway. How do they do that? They always have like a hollowed out volcano and like their own personal train. One day I'll get there. Hey, we got a couple of different ones here. All right, right up at the top, moving upwards. More lint. That's a couple of different ones. Funny, I went through most of this roll. Well, we found those. When we find another one. JFM looks good. LB, the little corner's good. Nothing down the center. Letters look right. Okay, nothing there. You're killing me, Larry. What was Small's first name? I never saw that movie. Well, no matter. We got 2 left to go here. So, if you can get, some BU rolls, a whole box of them, I'll go through a couple of them. Maybe you find something. If you do find something, well, geez, tear up the rest of that roll or the whole box. It looks pretty even. If you don't find anything, well, you can try marketing the darn things. They're not gonna make you rich, but geez, an extra 20 bucks, that's kind of handy. Maybe a kid would like to make 20 bucks. Give them to him. Here, sell these off. That's your allowance for this month. I'm going to double your allowance, but you got to work for it. Get that kid started on something. Because she's 20 bucks to a kid. That's, that'd be pretty good money, I suppose. What do kids make nowadays for doing stuff? I mean, I'd shovel a driveway, get $4 and a couple of cookies. That was pretty good. Nothing. That's all of them. That's that whole roll. Let me get these here. It's a start. That's what that is. Maybe you got a kid in the family who likes the pennies and he wants to do some, some penny collecting. Maybe he wants to get involved in selling some stuff. Selling is it's a next level thing. Not everybody's cut out for it. Seriously, I talk to people all the time, and I'm thinking, no, they're just not. You're not going to make it. Don't even try. It's not for everybody. You got to have things in place, a computer or printer. Have an idea what the heck you need for shipping supplies and how to package it properly. Oh, I've only got 4. Here's an extra penny. Scott Smalls. All right, let's go. Let's pick it up one more level. There we go. Now we got 3 high. 3 high. It's a little off right here. And I think this needs to be pushed over some. This is why they build the rigs, you know, with the boards to keep these things square and tight, flush and even. It's harder than it sounds. Anyway, geez, you got a 15-year-old kid. He's got no job because they got no jobs for kids nowadays, and you can pick up a few bucks selling these BU rolls. Might be good for them. You never know. I stack my poker chips like that when I'm at the casino. I stack my whores like that when I'm at home. Be there in a bit, baby. Gotcha. Poker chips. Well, there they are. We went through a roll. We found absolutely nothing. We did get skunked. We'll get a bunch of these. I fingered them all up, stacking them. That's the thing with it, when you stack them like this, you know, you gotta touch them just right. Well, hopefully you've learned how to open a roll effectively, you know, without screwing them up, or found different ways maybe possible. And we talked about, can you make money on a BU, you know, on a box of BU rolls? Yeah, you're not going to make a fortune. You're not going to sell that box for 150 bucks. But a buck a roll, yeah, you can double your money. But mind you, there's going to be fees on there and the cost of mailing and stuff. So different ways to take it. There's opportunity out there, even if it's just 50 cents at a time. You know, you pick up a roll, you sell it for $1, it costs you 50 cents. But you can put some volume behind that. You know, sell 5 rolls, 10 rolls. You got 50 in a box. You make 5 sales, you're good. You pick up, you know, 5, 10 bucks at a time. They're easy, like silver dollar size. Them's big casino chips. Where do you go to a casino? Where are you at? Lemonhead is in, let's see, where's Lemonhead? California, aren't you? I don't know, man. I don't know where anybody's from. Paul is in Washington. SJ's in San Diego. Clutch is in Colorado when he's not in Scotland. Couch is like Kentucky or Tennessee. Cad houses. Cat. Oregon. You're in Oregon too? All right. Let's see. Dustin and Chris are in Pennsylvania. Amber is like an hour and a half drive away from here. Let's see. Daughtry's south of me about an hour and a half or 2 hours. Somebody else is close. Marco, he's close. I don't know where he's at. In Oklahoma, says Penny Pincher. They're everywhere. I used to be in Maine, and man, it's cold up there. Get out of Maine. Get out of the north. If you're above, say, Florida, you're too far north from me. Polo, Oregon? Hawaiian Gardens. Now, there's a place to be. And we had this girl from high school. She was drop dead gorgeous. You know, she's the only one. Everything else looked like a horse. But she moved to Hawaii after high school. And as far as I can tell, she's probably still there. Boy, she was gorgeous, though. I better call her. Because, like, there's a chance there, huh? Hawaiian Gardens, Louisiana, City of Commerce, and, of course, the Bicycle Club. We got White Springs, Florida, home of the... There's nothing here. There's nothing. Actually, there is the Stephen Foster Folk Center. Stephen Foster wrote folk songs way back around, you know, 1899. There you go. Here's 1899. Like way down on the Swanee River, that kind of thing, because that's the Swanee River here. And he made that famous. It's a blackwater river. You don't want to swim in that. You got all these oak trees around here. I mean, just all kinds of oaks. They're live oaks, water oaks. They're southern oaks, and they make a whole lot of tannins in their leaves, and they drop the leaves in the spring. So the rains come in later in the spring. So the leaves are kind of rotted down some, and the rains come and wash those tannins out of the leaves, and it all drains out of the sandy soil into that river. So you have what is called a blackwater river. You stick you stand in there up to your waist, and you can't see your feet. It's black. It's hideous. It's just, tannins from the leaves. I played tournament for a while, never lost money, but I really enjoyed it. So it made my wife mad. Well, you have to go in and grouch. Man, this is sucking. I hate this place. I hate those people. You have to go back. We get tornadoes. Yeah, we get hurricanes, tornadoes, mosquitoes, chiggers, scorpions, those black moccasins that bite you and you walk 2 steps and that's the end of you. We get skunks and opossums and turkeys and oh, those wild boars. They're pretty ill-tempered. They'll chase you. They chase you, you run, because they will rip your ass up. Good night, loves. We get sunshine and flowers. Man, how can you stand that? What do you got to bitch about? Sunshine and flowers. We get bad weather, heat, sand fleas, hippies. We get the worst of it. I got those mushrooms up along the fence line, they're red and they get the little white spots like on Mario Brothers. It's like you grab one, you get extra life. No. You grab one, you start talking to Jesus. You'll get better, but man, the hippies love them mushrooms. Yeah, they got a name. It's fly muscarias or something like that. They're happy mushrooms. That's what we got here. No flowers. Man, and hookers. I've never seen so many hookers than in San Diego. In San Diego. Forget Disneyland. Where are you going? San Diego, baby. Must be the armed forces thing. My friend and I got attacked by a wild turkey. A turkey? Hit it in the head. They wander off. While metal detecting today. True story. Go watch it live on my Instagram. Dacone Digger. A turkey? Man, I had a precocious rooster one time. I locked and loaded and took care of him. Blam, and that was it. No more turkey or no more rooster. Put him in a pot, man. He made noodles. Much better that way. He was a little stiff. He was about 3 years old by then. Geez, the things that start squawking at 3 o'clock in the goddamn morning. I finally had enough and just took a whole box of shells out there and emptied that place. All of you, shut up. Boom. Fuck! Poor things. You hit them with a piece of that birdshot, though. They don't last long. And not much left to clean up and put in a pot either. Unless you like, sauce. I kept telling this turkey that he looked delicious and go away, but he didn't listen. They never do. Shot got to fix that turkey. Well, yeah, you're in public. All you can do is really just smack him in the head and talk harshly. Mention their mother. I had your mother last Thanksgiving. She was good. Yep, picked her up in San Diego. Okay, we were about an hour and a half into it. I just want to get through that one roll. Now it's time for me to find something to eat, use a bathroom, stack up more pennies. But you got to check those out. Geez, the guy's got a stack. It's the size of this desk. This is a 5-foot desk here. It's huge, and it goes up, and it's got lights. Right, it's got a beer cooler, a little tap in it. It's an impressive thing. Yep, time for me to hit that bathroom, so I'm going to let you guys go. We'll catch you another time. We'll see you later. Let me see if I can make this work right. I want to press that, and then press this. See you later. Stay groovy.